For my qualitative study design, I will be using the technology Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a vital resource in education. Google Classroom is a very useful learning management tool that has been incorporated into our district. Google Classroom is an integral part of our educational institution because it is an excellent resource for collaboration. It has provided our district with the means of working together which supports students learning in cooperative groups and collaborating on research-based projects. Throughout our district, Google Classroom is one of the most underutilized educational commodities, but it is the driving force within my classroom. It plays an essential role for me because I employ it on a daily basis. Not only does it engage my students, but Google Classroom allows me to reach my students where they are through differentiation. It has provided me with insight into various elements of engaged learning as I design lessons for my students. Google Classroom is a crucial resource for the field of education and within my current career. Does Google Classroom help with student engagement? My question is, what is the influence on behavioral engagement of third grade students using Google Classroom to learn multiplication facts? My goal is to figure out if Google Classroom has a significant effect on students' behavioral engagement. Third grade students will be used to conduct this study. The participants will consist of 53 third grade students. I will use quota sampling from two third grade classes in my school. These choices are the best fit for this study since the students are all at various levels as far as their academic ranking. Each group will be represented of all the strata in the population. Observation will be used in collecting the data. The students will be divided into four groups. Group 1 is the intensive group. Group 2 is the targeted group. Group 3 is the proficient group. And Group 4 is the advanced group. Group 1 is also the extremely below level students. Group 2 are the below level students. Group 3 are the on level students. And Group 4 are the above level students. The groups will be scored on a range from 1 to 3, with 1 being not engaged and misbehaving, 2 being somewhat engaged but still some misbehaving, and 3 being completely engaged with no misbehaving. One class will use Google Classroom for instruction. Google Classroom will be used to provide instruction to one class. The other class will have direct instruction from the teacher. Both classes will have 10 minutes of instruction, and at the end of the 10 minutes, each student will be allowed to practice multiplication facts on their own. One with the use of Google Classroom and the other with multiplication worksheets. After 10 minutes of the students practicing independently, we will observe the students' behavior engagement for the first time. We will start with Group 1 and go in order until Group 4. Once Group 4 has been observed, we will allow them to practice independently for another 10 minutes and then observe them again in the same order. We will continue this process until each group has been observed 4 times. The teachers will switch classes after each observation so that each rater has an opportunity to rate each class twice. The next day, we will switch the classes and their type of instruction so that both classes are observed using the same instructional and practice methods. Analyzing the data to see if my theory is correct. We will use inter-rater reliability and determine the percentage based on how often we agree on our observations. Based on the reliability, we will use content validity by asking an expert, our principal, psychologist, or a behavioral specialist on behavioral engagement to determine whether our findings are accurate. At the conclusion of the second day, we will analyze the data to determine the overall effect of Google Classroom on the behavioral engagement of the third grade students in our classes.